Hi, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to read On the Same Day in March, a tour of the world's weather. So we're going to see on the same day in the month of March what the weather is like in all different types of, in all different places of the world. Okay, and this book is by Marilyn Singer and it's illustrated by Fran Lazak, and that's who drew the pictures. On the same day in March. In the Arctic, polar bears ride on floes of ice, stalking seals, wishing fish, as the 6-month sun begins to rise slowly in the Arctic skies on the same day in March. In Alberta, Canada, just when you can't even remember spring, the wild Chinook blows in like a dragon, and quicker than you can say medicine hat, the biggest snow fort ever is nothing but a patch in someone's yard on the same day in March. In Paris, France, the sun slips out, still winter pale, but all over the city, at bus stops and markets, on small streets and grand boulevards, people hurrying to work or school, sitting at outdoor cafes and sipping hot chocolate, all of them turn up their faces to enjoy the sun's smile on the same day in March. In New York City, and that's by us, it's too gray to play outside today, the parents sigh. The little kids complain, but the basketball players stay in the schoolyard arguing what's worse, snow or sleet or freezing rain on the same day in March. In the Texas Panhandle, they said it was just a tiny twister, not big enough to spin a horse or hoist a cow, but it did suck up a bucket of water and give Grandma's dirty old truck the first wash it had in weeks on the same day in March. As you can see, here's a tornado. In Texas, they have a lot of tornadoes. In the Nile Valley, fog threads through the temples. In Louisiana Bayou, fog settles on the swamp on the same day in March. So 2 different places have fog. In Xi'an, China, in the park, the old men and small children guess. What will the wind carry today? Clouds of blue-winged swallows, dust that hurts their eyes, rain from the mountains, kites shaped like butterflies on the same day in March. In Darjeeling, India, hailstones all over the hillside. No one is happy, except little sister, who thinks the moon has broken and scattered its necklace of pearls on the same day in March. In Central Thailand, it's too hot to plant rice. It's too hot to pick rice, but it's not too hot to spell rice, R-I-C-E, on the board in the school on the same day in March. See how hot it is in Thailand already? In Dakar, Senegal, sunlight sparkles on the market. In Barbados, sunlight dazzles on the sand on the same day in March. In northern Kenya, the rains come, and all in one day they leave the gift of a river. Everyone hurry, come drink, come play, before the sun shines and all in one day takes the river away on the same day in March. In the Amazon, Brazil, Grandpa is always late. The rain is always on time, arriving at 3 o'clock yesterday, 3 o'clock tomorrow, 3 o'clock today. Only the weather wears a watch, Grandpa likes to say. whenever he or the rain makes everyone wait. On the same day in March. This is by the rainforest. In Darwin, Australia, board up the windows, bring in the boat. Better to be like crocodiles crouched on the shore than to be out sailing the sea when the willies come to call. On the same day in March. In Patagonia, Argentina, over the wide dry plain, autumn shears the clouds like a flock of sheep. Catch the wool, Mama teases. He doesn't understand why these puffy white vanish wet and cold on his warm hands on the same day in March. In Antarctica, penguins scramble on the shore, seeking mates, missing fish, as the 6-month sun begins to slice down below the Antarctic ice on the same day in March. So you see in the beginning of the book, they were beginning to go into the warmer part of the seasons, and at the end, they're going into the cold. So in the Arctic, it was beginning to be like spring, but in Antarctica, they're beginning their winter. Thanks so much for joining me. See you soon.